Yes, some people, Jerome from Liberty Music Podcast. I'm back again. I'm here with a very incredible guest, Mathilde SPZ. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, in Norwegian it's Mathilde Espeseth, and Espeseth is like it's my surname, so it's just a short version of it. But so many people just like spit, but it's Mathilde Espeseth. You can call me
SPZ.
Matilda. It's okay.
We'll go with Mathilde. I'll go with Mathilde. Mathilde. But you're
Matilda.
based in, it's Norway, isn't it?
Yeah,
What
that's.
part of Norway are you? Is that like Oslo or?
I live in Oslo.
Oh, what guess? I love that. But yeah, I've heard so loads of people have a lot to say about you until then. But apparently you're the most used live event artist in Norway. I think that's what you get the most shows, loads of events, loads of festivals. People always book you up for, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really, really lucky. I kind of like in 2015, after my musical education, I just like it was random. I just happened to roll into the event industry, and that has been it was a growing industry from 2015 up until the pandemic. So I've been like part of that journey, and I'm really happy because you get so much. Yeah, you have gigs on a weekly basis, and not many artists can say that and have that experience and get to perform for people every week. So I've been really, really
Love that.
lucky.
Yeah, no, I was saying loads of artists kind of well, that's what you want as an artist to be doing shows and performing. That's the main thing you want to be. Actually, you want to write your music and then record it, put it out, but you want to be showing it to your fans and people singing it back to you. That's the end goal at the end of the day. But you've been doing it for 8 years, I've heard. Is it
Yeah,
over 8 years?
8, 9 years. I've been performing for a longer time, but in the event like event industry, it's 8, 9 years now.
Love that. We're pretty experienced and you're pretty seasoned artist then. But you got some really incredible
That's an
achievements to be
expression.
fair. So
No, seasoned. It was a nice expression. I haven't heard that before. I love that. I'm
yeah, you can take that one with you. You can take that one with you all the way back to Oslo. Well, as I say, you've had some incredible achievements. To be fair, I've done a lot of research about you. How do you like the Norway Eurovision contestant as well? But I really want to tell us how you kind of first got into music. What was it like doing like your first performance, for example?
Um, I've been like I come from a very musical family. Both my parents are music educated, so they're professional musicians, and music has always been a part of me. I've always used music to express my emotions, and I have videos of me when I'm like 2, 3 years old, standing in
Well,
my grandparents' living room, and where I perform like I have a concert for the family. So I've always been doing this. And I remember when I started first grade, it was natural for me to perform for my class, and I started performing for the school. But my first real concert, like
show
yeah,
first
my first
performance.
show, first performance, I was 10 years old, and I did a original song at this local talent show thingy. And I had written it in English. My grammar was so bad, you have no idea.
Just learn English and still writing it and then performing it as well. That's crazy.
No, it was really like I still remember the song, and the grammar was shit because I listened a lot to music with English lyrics, but
Mhm.
not as much as kids today do, I think. And I
Okay.
wasn't exposed to English TV shows and series. So
More commercialized, I say then, like that sort of thing.
absolutely. So, but I remember that performance. It was so much fun. And I had to drag my mom with me because she had to play the guitar. And she was more nervous than I had.
Let's give her some credits for that. Then she might be owed some royalties. I love it. So you're kind of always in the performance sort of industry. Then, so were you never kind of nervous when you were actually doing your first kind of shows and gigs and stuff? Then
No, I can't remember.
instinct.
I can't remember being nervous was like an obstacle. I remember I was feeling had some nervous feelings at some points, especially when I did like this big theater kind of shows. But I think I grew more nervous as I got older, because as you get older, you start doubting yourself,
Yeah.
and you have all these like what if type of thoughts, you know. But I can't remember I ever was nervous. I was just like excited. I wanted to perform.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's more
yeah,
anxiety, isn't it, to be fair, when you're an artist. I always say, to be fair, like, if you're not nervous before your shows, you probably don't care enough.
exactly, 100%.
Yeah, it's always good to be nervous. I love doing my shows and I get a bit nervous, but then you kind of get your alter ego, your artist alter ego takes over and you just hit the stage and you just go for it. But you're a lot bigger than me, I must say. I was gonna say you entered into this is like your list of your accomplishments here. You done the Melody, is it Melody pronounced Grand Prix, innit?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got
for the Formula One.
yeah.
That must have been
For,
crazy.
it's yeah. I've done a lot of fun things.
You was in the Norway's Eurovision qualification as well. That must have been absolutely mental. Was that your show? Well, the song Woman Show? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, love
yeah.
that. I love that. When is that one come out? Was that one recent or was that an older one?
It was January this year, so yeah, it's
Pretty
kind of
new.
quite
So
new.
this year's Eurovision then, yeah?
Yeah,
Love
it's
that. Love
yeah.
that. Hopefully we get you in the next one. That'll be amazing. But I was gonna say, tell me more about the kind of competition. Obviously for Eurovision and the Formula One. I'd love to kind of know a bit more about that. And obviously, will you kind of be looking to do that again in the future? Is that more stuff you kind of look to be doing those sort of live events, like bigger festival sort of things outside of the music scene?
Yeah, of course, I want to. I think I'm not very like. I want to do the big music stuff, like Eurovision. That's like my biggest dream.
Basically, and you're gonna enter that again, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, that's
Yeah.
my main goal, like career-wise, to be the Norwegian representative in Eurovision. That would be amazing, and to win
Love
it would be even cooler. But I think as far as I've tried a lot of stuff, and I love doing different stuff. I love dancing, and I love acting, and I love writing music. But I think most what I try to focus. What I try to focus on is music, just
Yeah,
writing.
that's writing and creating your music, yeah?
Yeah, and it's it's hard because you want to do 1,000 different things, and then you only have 24 hours, so you kind of have to narrow it down.
Oh, oh, to be fair, when I was asking about, I was looking, I was gonna say, you're looking to do more like big events, like obviously the Formula One, that's massive. Like for me as an artist, but I'd love to do that. But you're looking to any more like random sort of events like that coming up? You doing any festivals or?
I have a bit of like I'm gonna start working with a big booking agency here in Scandinavia, so that's
Oh,
very new, and hopefully I get to do a lot of festivals coming up. That would be amazing. But as for now, I've done festivals with other artists and singing other artists' songs. So hopefully, my goal now is to land some of those festivals with my own stuff.
love it. I was gonna say, have you done any like shows outside of like Norway then, or have you done like performed in like the UK before or anything like that, or Germany or anything?
I've only like private event shows.
Okay.
I've been traveling across Europe. I've been to Latvia, been to Spain, been to Sweden, Denmark, of course Finland, everywhere basically, doing private event shows. But that's like for corporate events. So it's and the thing is when you do those kind of events, you just go there, you're at the venue, and then you perform, then you leave. So you don't
Yeah.
necessarily see that much. I think it would be more fun to do festivals because then maybe you can see a bit more country that you're visiting.
Yeah. Have a little bit more of a tour around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get you like Glastonbury or something, or Reading and Leeds for the
There is
future.
like, oh, I would love that. I would love that.
I was like, your genre probably would like proper smash Glastonbury, to be fair, because you got more like you do a lot of like the house sort of vibes, more dancey music, and that's what they love at like Glastonbury. So I could definitely, as soon as I listen to your music, I was like, I can hear it at like the UK festivals all day.
Glastonbury and of course Tomorrowland are like on my top bucket list. That would be amazing to do. I haven't been to either of those festivals. I've been to some big festivals in Brussels and in Germany, a couple of us, but I haven't been to Glastonbury. but it looks amazing.
Yes.
I still go there.
Yeah. I haven't been there myself, to be fair, but I heard one of my artists that performed there, and it was it was amazing, to be fair. But I'd love to go as well, to be fair. But yeah, one day I could see you there until then, you can be smashing it, to be fair. Everyone be dancing, getting all muddy.
Thank
That's the
you. Yeah.
vibes.
You.
But
Yeah.
obviously, I was listening to your music, to be fair, now I've got a few different like examples of people I thought you kind of sound like. But who are your musical inspirations? Because you're quite unique. You've got quite a versatile sort of voice and career yourself. So who's your inspirations?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Well, the thing is, I have so many musical inspirations coming from a family where I grew up with classical music and I grew up with jazz. I am jazz educated, so I think I kind of like I want to bring all of that, the vibes from different genres into my music. But I have to say, I am a sucker for electronic music and house and dance. So like Avicii.
Oh,
Avicii,
legendary.
I freaking love him. And Swedish House Mafia, a lot of like David Guetta, Colin.
Yeah.
And I think what I love with those producer artists is that they can change their sound according to whom they collaborate with.
Yeah, literally. Did you know Fred again? He's probably
Fred again.
he's really the best example right now because he'll get like he'll literally get like an R&B singer, and he'll get someone who does like drill rap music, and then he'll get like a rock artist, and it's so versatile. That's crazy.
Exactly. And I think but I think that's kind of like as an artist, like as a singer, you can't be as versatile as you can be when you are a producer artist. Like Fred again, and like I listened to the last Jamie XX Robin song. I love Robin. I freaking love Robin. But it's so playful, and it's so, the producers have that capacity. They can play even more, and I think that's kind of what I want to bring into my own music. That it's still what kind of binds it together, like the ballad and the house song and the dance song, the EDM songs. What kind of brings them together is my voice, and it's me. It's the same with like Rita Ora, Dua Lipa, Becky Hill. All amazing singers. Becky Hill, she does a lot of different collaborations.
Yeah. Becky was in my town, literally performing in my town like what was it, 2 months ago? BBC Radio 1 big weekender, so it was amazing to see her actually.
She's such a talented singer and songwriter. I saw her. She performed in Oslo in April.
Well, I'll say you got a lot of, obviously, you mentioned before you did have a lot of like Scandinavian sort of inspirations, obviously with your family growing up as well. So I'm guessing that comes into your music. Same with me. My dad did produce gospel music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like whenever I will be finding beats, I always like go and I'll be like, oh, that kind of reminds me of dad's music back in the day. Like it's not, obviously I do like alternative drill music. So putting like gospel in the back, that's gonna be like a weird sort of blend, but obviously that's how your own music and your own sound is created, by having that random blend of different sort of sounds.
Exactly.
So I get that, but obviously you said that obviously you wanted to kind of merge the Scandinavian sound with sort of dance. What is the most popular genre of music in Scandinavia? Scandinavian countries, should I say?
Yeah.
And how do you think that kind of is helping you kind of shape new dance music?
I think right now we have like this huge spread of different things that's popular because well, obviously there's so much music released every day. I think it's 130,000 songs released on Spotify each day. So that's just like, but here in Norway, you have this very diverse. So a lot of what's going on in the Norwegian Billboard scene are very kind of like country kind of music with
quite like a indie sort of pop sort of style. I think
it's a bit more. It's a 4 to the floor beat, like my MGP song Woman Show. We have this like chorus in the middle, like this hook line in Norwegian. The
bilingual part. I love
that kind of like Norwegian lyrics over 4 to the floor beats. preferably with some banjo in it, you know,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like
Proper
straight
country then.
liquid. That's huge in Norway right now.
I love that.
But
Is that the most popular genre, sorry, at the moment then? Or is it?
yeah, I think so. That's like one part, and then you still have like the normal billboard thingy, like with Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana, and like the more pop scene, and
Yeah.
then we have a huge Norwegian up and coming, maybe not up and coming now, but the last 5 years, the Norwegian rap and hip R&B
I was
scene has been blowing up.
I was gonna say that's what I was kind of getting at. Is that kind of the most popular genre at the moment in Norway? Because I know globally, I think hip hop and rap's kind of taken over from. I think rock was the most popular like what 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's gone to more hip hop and rap. Is that still the same over in like Scandinavia? They're still like loving the rappers over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So I think like rap, R&B, hip hop, that scene is just blowing up all over Scandinavia. You see both in Sweden. Sweden is special. Sweden has always been like pioneers in the music scene.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think Swedish House Mafia, I think, kind of like made like stepping stones like years ago. And that's when I think all these other Swedish artists came out and said, we can do it too. So,
yeah,
but yeah, no, the Scandinavian artists, they're quite unique with the genres that kind of, I think from 10 years ago, I don't think everyone kind of looked at Norwegian or Swedish or the Scandinavian countries for music. Like, but now I've seen quite a lot, to be fair, even like yourself come across as like, your music's banging.
yeah. No, but I think what's happening is that because Norway has been no Norway is strange. It's a very strange country because there's so few inhabitants. Like we're only 5.5 million people now, spread across this whole country, and it's always been very like closed. So we are Norwegians, and we're not gonna be influenced by anyone else. And then all of a sudden we realize that fuck, we're a part of like the world. We can't just like think this is us, this is what we're gonna do. And I think the Norwegian music scene has been quite strange in that manner because the Norwegian jazz music and the very the Scandinavian sound with Jan Garbarek, the vibey kind of like Aurora, the artist Aurora.
I've heard of it. I'm
Aurora,
trying to
yeah.
think of the tracks, to be fair.
She has that kind of like quirky sound with some strange noises and stuff, and that's been like the Norwegian music scene for a long time. That was what was like people put on a pedestal, like
Yeah.
jazz musician have to make quirky kind of music. But now we've been commercializing our music industry a lot. So I think
Are you kind of breaking the mold now, really?
Mm.
Yeah. I love that, to be fair. I was gonna say, are you kind of helping to shape the new sort of dance music then? Is that what you're trying to kind of, your sort of goals are yourself? You're trying to shape new dance music in Norway, or are you trying to just kind of make your own sound? What's your sort of thing at the moment?
I think right now I'm still focusing on trying to find my own sound because I've been in so many bands. I've been singing in a hip hop band. I've been singing in a jazz band. I sang in a metal band. I've done so much strange stuff. And so right now I'm still trying to figure out who am I musically, and I think I'm on to the path that I'm on is where I want to be. I love dance. I love it when you kind of just like, the music gives you a vibe, it gives you energy, and the energy builds. So like house music, I'm definitely gonna explore more in that genre. But hopefully I find a way to bring like make my top lines mine. That you can hear a song just like that's Mathilde.
Instantly.
Yeah,
That's what it takes.
Onto something now, but yeah. It's difficult to shape the industry because there's so many influences and so many people writing great music. So
literally, but I kind of think it's probably best to be the influence, make your own sort of sound, have other people following you. But I'm waiting for you to jump on. I'm wanting to hear something from the hip hop and rap side from you now, Matilda. I'm waiting to hear
Please
that.
don't
I'm
make
wait.
me rock.
Yeah. I'm gonna see like there's this one like singer, what's her name? Ashniko. Have you ever heard of her?
No,
She had that blue hair. But that's what I could see doing her sort of vibe. If you ever went into like the hip hop and rap side.
you have to
Ash,
send me like her Insta later on
yeah,
because I have to check
definitely.
her out. Yeah.
Definitely. I'll send it over to you. Be like, oh, I'm gonna collab with her now. But obviously, following off, obviously, when you take mention, obviously, the Scandinavian sort of inspirations and stuff. Obviously, you got like Robin, and ABBA. I think
I,
ABBA's probably the biggest. I love Super Trooper, man. That was grew up on that as a kid.
yeah.
So, obviously, they got long lineage, particularly obviously in Norway and Sweden. How does that make you feel? Obviously, how does it feel to be following, obviously, in their footsteps, really, as an artist? Because they're legends. And these are
Exactly.
obviously great artists.
I kind of like, yeah. When you think about it like that, you just want to lay down and stop doing anything because you can't like it's. We have this saying, "Jump after Wirkola." Wirkola was a great ski jumper, so. But it's like, yeah, jumping after ABBA. No, but I think you can't. I try to not think too much about those stuff.
Just avoid it.
Because if you go into a studio session and you think, I'm gonna write the next big hit, I'm gonna beat ABBA and voulez-vous, you will probably choke. You will probably don't write shit. So I just try to go into sessions open-minded and write stuff that me and the people in the room like there and then. But of course, it's like there's so many inspirational artists like ABBA, like Robin. I don't think that they tried to like, I'm gonna write the next big hit. I think they just went in and
did their music.
did it. Yeah.
How do you kind of view the current music scene in like Norway and like Sweden, for example? Is it quite? Do you think a lot of people kind of inspired by Robin and ABBA, or do you think it's kind of switched up now?
I think it's very switched up. I think like we are inspired by everything right now. So what's going on, especially what's going on in the States, with like the country vibe and I think you can see. This is a stretch, but for me, you see this polarization in the world politically, and you can actually see this in the music as well. You have so many different roots where this is the country vibe, this is the hip hop vibe, and this is the house, and then you have all of these cliques, all of these like social different social environments.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like a reflection of the political landscape in the world right now. And then you can switch between the environments. You can go to a hip hop club and you can join the country scene if you want to, but people won't let you in unless you are in the hip hop scene,
Literally, I think that's for like my scene, like for drill music, for example, that's literally the exact way it works. Like people just want you to be you either 100% a driller or you don't do that music. Like, but I went to a BBC and introduced myself, and I was kind of saying that's how my music. I wanted to kind of change that aspect because of not everyone's like a drill gangster rapper, like, and most of these drill gangster rappers aren't even gangster rappers themselves. It's doing music. They just have to make money and they want to create music, so that's what they do, and people enjoy it and they continue doing it because people are listening. But yeah, I love that kind of different, trying to shape the scenes how you are. That's why I love that sort of inspiration you got over there. To be fair, not just following up from the legends, because I think in the UK everyone just wants to be exactly the same rapper that was out 20 years ago that blew up. But obviously you got loads of songs that I kind of like. But what was your sort of favorite song to write yourself?
I loved writing "In Your Mind I'm Naked." That's kind of my favorite song that I have written. I have several, but that song for me meant so much more. Obviously, I had because normally I just write about nice emotions, you know, it's a heartache song or it's a love song or those kind of like harmless, very normal emotions. But in this song, I wanted to write about wanting attention, wanting to be lusted, wanting to be like, wanting someone who wants you. Of what's the English word of lusting, whatever. I think that everyone wants attention, but
Also, you want to be wanted, pretty much, that sort of thing.
Basically. But in Norway, we have this norm called the law of Jante, which is it's 10 rules that they're not rules, but there are norms that you want to live by. So like, don't think you are anybody. Don't think that you can achieve anything. Don't think you have the right to be happy. You know, all of these.
Sounds like everyone's attitude in Luton, to be fair, where I'm from.
Sure.
It sounds like everyone's attitude in Luton. Like, it's like you can't be anything. Just keep your head down. As soon as anyone does anything, everyone just looks down at you like, why are you doing that? Why are you trying?
And I think that is a very little town type of thinking, because you shouldn't stick your neck out in a little town. You have to be one of the community, you know, and drag this village forward together with everybody else. Don't think you can be a star and leave the city, you know?
People like my town just don't want you to try it. I just feel like they don't have that supportive attitude where they're like, oh, he's trying. We've got an artist local to us. He's trying something. Let's support him, like, no matter what, like, he's doing. And then they don't do it unless you, like, take off. Then the whole town's gonna be like, oh, we were backing him from day one.
We did the same. It's like frowned upon until you make it. But if you make it, everybody's had your back for ages. It's like, this is just silly.
Literally.
Silly.
Yeah, chase your dreams. That's the thing. They don't want their town to be better. That's the thing. They don't want they just don't want anything. They just want nothing to change. They just want it to be standstill. But it's like people are gonna. If you get someone that blows up from your town and they put more money back into your town, make everyone know where your town's from, you're only gonna continue growing. So
exactly.
Just I always look at it as like a human aspect. I think it's just a human thing. Like, us artists, we're different breed. We're just different minds. I think we've got different attitudes to the normal, what's it called, small town attitudes.
Yeah.
But obviously, I know, like myself, when I like to perform, when I got certain songs that I enjoy like writing. That obviously I'm like, yeah, this hit home for me. It was a really good song that I love to write. It obviously meant a lot deeper. But I've got songs that I prefer to perform. Yeah. So which was your favorite song to sing and perform at?
Yeah, because like you say, it's two different things. I love to perform, like Echo is one of my favorites, because that also was, I loved writing it. It was one of those songs that just like, it's like this. You just had an emotion, and I had this chorus idea, and then I had an emotion, and then everything just clicked. And it's so nice because the vibe of that song is something that I love to perform. I think like my vocals and the song, it works really well together, and it's in a nice range. I just love performing that one. But also I love dancing. So Colorblind is a song that I love to do live.
Checked that one earlier with my daughter, to be fair. Funny enough. I was walking around, I'm at Woburn Centre Parks at the moment, so I was walking around my daughter playing that.
Oh.
Actually. I really enjoyed that one.
Well, thank you. No, I think it's a nice vibe, and it's kind of like uplifting. So I like to jump on stage.
I love it. I need to come see you show. I need to come see one of your shows then. So we'll speak to Dylan and see if he can get us any tickets for you. But you said you got a lot of obviously inspirations and stuff yourself. Obviously, like Becky Hill, ABBA, all these different variety of people that you kind of obviously been around you, even like your family doing music.
Really.
If you could collaborate with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I have to say Avicii.
Avicii?
I have to say Avicii.
You need to get your vocals on one of his bass lines.
That would be amazing. I think like he shaped EDM to what it is today. He was his way of writing instrumental top lines, hook lines, only with and the use of syncopations and triplets and everything. It was so you can hear a song just like that's Avicii, or like this person is inspired by Avicii, because the simplicity of his melodies. You just want to go right away, you know?
Literally.
It's so simple. He was a genius.
I love that. Me and my friend were actually lucky enough to see Avicii literally like almost 10 years ago now. Yeah, actually crazy, sir. But sad when he passed away. But I'm glad you kind of said that.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to see Avicii yourself performing, or?
I didn't see Avicii. No, I didn't actually. I never saw him. I was supposed to see him when he played in Norway. It was a year or two, I think, before he died.
Oh,
then a couple of years, but then I got a gig, and so I had to skip it, and I regret that so much. I regret it so much. He was a brilliant musician.
No, definitely. I think he's inspired probably a lot more of artists as well, to be fair. So hopefully you get the next Avicii, and you are the one who's bringing him up, and then everyone's like, I want to be like Mathilde, and then I want to be like this new guy as well. So, or Fred again. I could hear you with Fred again, to be fair. That's one person. Getting his DMs.
yeah, absolutely. Fred again, and also Tiesto. I love Tiesto. His bass is always so mean. I love it.
That's it. There's loads of actually different producers coming out, to be fair. There's another one. I think his name's Kilimanjaro. I think he's a big one.
Kilimanjaro. Never heard about. Have to check.
No, he's a bit like Fred again. I've seen him at Boiler Room, to be fair. So he's a good one as well. But check him. But there's loads of them, to be fair. But you're gonna find the next one anyways. If it's a big Norwegian one, or you find someone in your small town in Oslo and bring them up with you. That's what I'd say.
I'll find Kygo.
Come on, you gotta be doing that. You gotta be going on your scout as well as that, as doing your own music. Yeah. Obviously, you performed at some of the biggest festivals in Norway. What's your dream festival to perform at? Obviously, you mentioned Glastonbury, you said Reading and Leeds and things. What's your dream festival to perform at?
I think in Norway, I did perform at my dream festival in Norway, but that was as a singer for another artist, so it wasn't with my music. It's called Findings Festival. It is like the biggest club EDM festival in Norway. It's really, really cool. It's at this big stadium. Findings in Norway, and like I said, Tomorrowland. It looks so amazing.
No, Coachella's not something that sticks out to you.
Coachella, it would be cool, but I think that's like, is it too big? Is it okay to say that a festival is too big?
I guess I don't know. Nah, I don't know. It's people got their own sort of opinions, like what festivals they want to be at. To be fair, but I know loads of people kind of want to do Coachella because it's just like that's like I guess the pinnacle of like being a rock star, isn't it? That's like the top tier. Apart from obviously in the UK, everyone else would say Glastonbury or who else? I don't know. Would you rather Glastonbury or Coachella?
Glastonbury.
Yeah.
The vibe at Glastonbury. No, I haven't been to either, but it feels like the vibe at Glastonbury would be a bit more me than Coachella. I think Coachella. Yeah, I wouldn't turn down a gig at Coachella. Obviously, I'm not.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say no. But... It's a bit more. I don't know.
Glastonbury. Yeah. He wouldn't say no, but if they were both on the same day and they both offered you, you'd take the flight to the UK.
Yeah, 100%.
Has to be. But what's your advice for obviously the young aspiring musicians? Obviously, you got a lot more experience than me. You've been in the scene a lot there. You've had way more bigger achievements. What's your sort of piece of advice you'd give them?
I think, there are two things that I kind of regret that nobody told me. The first thing is that you have to put your music out there. People don't knock on your door and say, hi, do you want to be an artist? You have to, rehearse, of course, rehearse and write, but then you have to release it. And if you're waiting for that song that is 100% perfect, if you still wait for like, no, I'm gonna hit that note just like that, and then I don't like this little bit of line 100%. If you wait for that 100%, you can wait forever, because you're not the same person when you go to bed as you were when you woke up. You will always change, and will always be better if you continue rehearsing and writing. So if you're 90% happy with something, put it out there. Just show people what you do. And then when you do that, please work on yourself and try to strive for that quiet confidence. Because if you don't have that, the industry will chew you up and spit you out, and you will just die inside. It costs a lot. So please work on yourself and not necessarily just on your craft, and try to bring it out to the people and take the feedback. No, I don't like this. Okay, maybe is this something that I want to change, or do I like it? Okay, let it just
It's living in the moment, really, and creating your own music at that time. That's how it is. It's all about aesthetic things. I think a lot of artists kind of more focused about making sure it sounds really good, but and they would rather someone else tell them it sounds good rather than what in their head they actually want to make and then release it that way. They rather, I've got this in my head, and then someone else tells them, no, this is how it should sound, and it's how it should be, and it doesn't go their way when they release it. But if you just create your own art, that's what music is. It's an art. So it's your own thing. This is yours. It's your baby. It's what you're creating. So, but I love that piece of advice you gave for the independent artists. To be fair, because it is quite hard to navigate the music scene, and I think a lot of artists do have that sort of doubt and that reassurance in themselves for releasing. They kind of waiting for someone else to say, yeah, this is good, you can do this. But it's like, if you want to do it, do
it. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not other people's job to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy, and then if you like this, don't let other people say that, oh, this is shit. If you post it and you like it, just be that. But if you want to become like a professional artist, you have to take feedback, because and saying I don't like this is not feedback. That's shit. But saying the craftsmanship of this beat is not strong enough to compete with what we can.
Constructive stuff. That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. People's BS. Yeah, that's BS. Don't think
it's better to find like a right-hand man who's going to give you an honest opinion on your stuff, or a producer, engineer, someone like that. That's who you kind of want to have around you to give you that piece of advice.
Get a mentor. Find someone who is a step ahead of you in the industry. Ask them for advice. I give people advice all the time, and I've always like been so bad with reaching out to people, but I love it when people reach out to me. And now, grown up as I am, now I finally start reaching out, and then things happen because you get constructive feedback, and also you get connections that can help you grow and bring your music out. So don't be afraid to ask someone for help.
No, I love that, to be fair. I love that. I was going to say, that same sort of thing happened to me. I've reached out to a producer called Will Light, who produces for he done like AJ Tracy, if you know AJ Tracy, Digger D, Pot of Paper, all these like UK rappers. So he's like my right hand man. He's a big producer, but he always gives me great feedback. If I've got a track that's unreleased, he'll give me the perfect idea of like where to kind of take it. Obviously, he's an industry professional, as well as that he's really honest. So those are really great people to kind of have around with you. But won't take up your whole day. I could be chatting to you all day, Mathilde.
Same joke.
Chat to you all day. I'm not even joking. But obviously, I'm looking forward to hearing from you again. What's next for you? What's your next sort of plans? You got a new release coming up. What can your fans keep an eye out for?
I have my next release is 20th of September, so it's just a couple of weeks from now. It's a song I love. It's called Unforgettable, and it's written a couple of years ago, but like the production haven't been 100%. It was there, but it was kind of missing something, so I took it up now, because I simply love the song. It's a clubby EDM, catchy, danceable song. So I'm releasing that on the 20th of September. And then
Love it.
on the 20th of September 25th, I have a showcase on a secret venue in Oslo that
Oh,
someone
we'll keep that
has in
secret hustle.
Oslo can, if they follow me on Instagram, they can actually win tickets to my secret showcase where I play a full-length concert for the music industry. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
So I will post.
Big opportunities from that then.
Yeah. So, and yeah, hopefully a lot of shows coming up, and continue releasing music, trying to find the new sound, trying to collab with different producers and stuff.
Love it. I can't wait to hear what you're coming up with. I'm going to keep a good eye on you, to be fair. Obviously, Dylan's going to be in touch with you constantly, so I'll be looking out for your music as well. But yeah, I'll keep in touch with you on Instagram. Where can the people that don't know, haven't heard of you, where can we find your Instagram? Where can we find your music, your Twitter, whatever socials?
Yeah, I'm called Mathilde. It's difficult because it's not in Norwegian. So it's Mathilde with a TH, SPZ. That's me on Spotify, on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm not on Twitter. I've never been on Twitter, but yeah, hopefully write me wherever on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah. What's your Instagram? Is it still the same?
It's still the same. Mathilde, SPZ. I think you can actually just search for SPZ and then you will find me. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been amazing speaking to you, Mathilde.
It's been so lovely, Jerome. Thank you so much for having me.